Don't you worry, the clip's about to begin, but don't forget to subscribe. Or else, don't make me turn this website around. We're going to chat now with Gloria in Texas. Gloria, you are on the line.
Hello.
Hi, hello. Oh, I can hear my own echo. That's terrifying.
You're doing great so far.
I don't know why you're hearing your own echo. Shouldn't be.
Okay. I think it's stopped now. Okay, that's so much better. First of all, thank you, Joe, for the work you do with disability advocacy. This is something I've needed a lot, especially right now. So my question is, in the past couple months, I started using a walking aid because of my chronic pain. I've been using a cane to help me walk. And I've had total strangers, people I've never met before in my life, stop me and ask, oh, what happened? Or try and give me advice about what I should do about my chronic pain. So my question for you is, with your experience, how do I kindly but firmly tell people that is none of your business?
That is a absolutely fantastic question, because I have run into that a lot. I'm sorry that you're dealing with that, because it's so weird and uncomfortable, and it's a hard situation to get out of, and then it feels uncomfortable in the aftermath too. So I'm sorry that you're dealing with that. I think this was best illustrated for me also with chronic pain. People had a lot of opinions when it came to my amputation, that they would just random people who I'd had 2 conversations with at work, maybe being like, listen, there's a doctor in Texas, and before you go through this, you need to see him because my friend said, all that fun stuff. But with chronic pain, I have tried, as I imagine you probably have, everything. I've tried so many different things, but there's always people who will be like, well, have you tried the cabbage diet? The cabbage diet heals everything. That's a real thing that's been said a couple times to me.
You're not talking about jilly juice, are you?
Oh, dear God, no.
Because jilly juice promises to regrow limbs.
Do you think maybe I should? Just kidding. That stuff will poison you.
You'll die. The sodium content, way too high.
But as far as how to respond to it, I was very polite and nice and heard people out for a long time. And then I got super exhausted. And so I started, this is just how I did it. I started sort of being like, oh gosh, I super, super appreciate that suggestion. I'm just kind of taking a break from trying to see new people or try new things. There's been so much that I've done, and I'm exhausted. So thanks for your suggestion. I appreciate you caring, but man, I'm I wouldn't say fed up with suggestions, but I'm taking a break from searching new things now. That'd be one way I would handle it. Yeah. There's also you don't know me, it's none of your business, but that's not super diplomatic. Not how I would usually go about things.
It's interesting too, because there's a thing that happens with I guess in all of the categories you have queer creators, trans creators who are obviously also queer creators, at least gender queer. You've got feminist creators, but you have all of these people who are creators who will engage with an audience, and then people will ask them hey, explain this to me, or something similar how do I engage in this way with other people? But it's also created this almost atmosphere, because the people on YouTube, let's just go with an example of a queer creator. Because there's a queer creator on YouTube, and it seems just like a normal person, and a person can go to the comment section and ask questions, and sometimes a queer creator might even respond to that people have this attitude that every normal person is there to educate others, is there to tell others that they need to do or to demand really from others, hey, I don't understand pansexuality, or I don't understand being transgender, and so now you need to explain it to me. And it's almost an entitled sense of you owe me convincing me. And you see it a lot in the comments that are I just read one off to Joe right before the show of somebody on one of my political videos saying Black Lives Matter is a terrorist organization. Change my mind. And I responded. I was like, no, you do the work. The only person who can change a person's mind is yourself. Yeah. And so you You have a choice of what types of information you will listen to, how you will process it. If you're going to hold things to a different standard when it's something you want to believe versus don't want to believe, which is something we are all horribly guilty of, where it's like, okay, as a skeptic, I'm going to say I don't believe in X because of this. And then it's like there's something else that's uncomfortable. And you see this a lot amongst atheists, even when we're talking about like trans issues, where now they're going to add to a new level of hyper skepticism and just have this demand of these filters that you must meet to get through before they're even going to consider the possibility that you're valid and not just be condescending to you. And there's this attitude of like, you owe me an explanation of your identity if you dare identify as something. And that's something that we have to get over, because somebody being trans does not owe explanations to everybody who doesn't understand their experience or who doesn't understand what it's like to be trans. And frankly, most of the people that usually engage as though, I'm just asking questions, aren't. They're being antagonizing, and they're trying to make that person feel bad and make some broader point and be an asshole on the way, because at some point they revered somebody who was an asshole and liked the way that person was an asshole, and they're trying to emulate that assholery. And sometimes there are great assholes out there. I hope I'm a good asshole. I'm definitely an asshole. I hope I'm just one of the good ones. And I'm sure there are people who watch my show and then try and go and have, try and emulate the kinds of points I have and conversations I have and end up looking like an asshole. And we should try to avoid that. Jimmy Snow tries to avoid looking like a bad asshole, because I don't mind looking like a good asshole. Like I said with the caller earlier, who was like, how do we do this without invalidating somebody's belief? Why shouldn't we invalidate somebody's belief? If that's assholery, I am on board.
Oh, I think also, I'm just going to interject myself here. Gloria, I think that I have fallen into the trap for years of feeling like I do owe someone a good interaction, even if I don't know them, or like a good conversation that makes them feel okay about my situation or about what they're saying. And over the past couple of years, I've come to realize that's really not the case. I think this is a hard thing to put into practice, especially if you're bent towards people pleasing like I am sometimes. But you don't owe anyone those conversations. They may feel that way, but I think having a response that's like a sentence on days where you do not want to speak to someone or whatever it is, of being like, I appreciate the question, but it's my story and it's my life, and this is not a good thing about this. So, go on your merry way. It is completely valid. Know that you do not owe anyone your story or listening to their suggestions or explaining what your situation is.
Yeah. Also,
that one's a hard one for me to wrap my brain around.
Oh, I get it. Yeah, no, me too.
I'd like everyone to know they have my permission to, in the context of a romantic interaction, to use the phrase, I'm about to emulate that ass. Gloria, anything else before we let you go?
No, thank you so much.
Cool.
Gloria, it was great to talk to you. Thanks for calling.
Yeah. Thank you.
Thank you.
Bye. Hey, thanks for checking out this clip for The Line. While you're here, hit that like button, hit subscribe, turn on notifications, and then share this with that bitter uncle of yours who loves talking about the good old days.